Hi, and welcome to ECT TV episode. To talk a little bit about self-expression. For me, the reason that I make jewelry and engage in other creative activities is really to express myself. For years and years, I felt like I couldn't be myself and I really couldn't express myself. And making jewelry especially, along with other creative activities, has really helped me find my way. And jewelry has this other really cool feature that not only do you get to express yourself while you're making the jewelry, but also while you're wearing it after you make it. The necklace I'm going to show you how to make today is really just the basis of your creativity. I'm going to teach you a couple skills, and then you can add other things that you already know how to do to really express yourself. I really hope that you run with this and have a really great time showing people who you are through your jewelry. For this necklace, I'm going to show you what I'm going to use to make it, but like I said before, I really hope that you'll just kind of use your own creativity and express yourself and maybe just run with the ideas that I'm going to give you here today. So the first thing you'll need is some 20 gauge wire, and it should be, I always like to use half hard, and you know, you could use, if you prefer, copper wire, silver plated wire, whatever kind of wire you like, but 20 gauge is what I find works the best for what we're going to make with it. And then you'll want some beads, because I'm going to make a bead dangle. And I'm going to use these cool recycled glass beads. I'm just going to make one bead dangle with a combination of these beads. And then I have this cool charm that I've been wanting to find a way to use, that I've been kind of hanging on to. And I got the beads and this charm from Happy Mango Beads. And then you'll need chain and a clasp, and then some 4mm jump rings. And then the tools that you'll need are your wire cutters, round nose pliers, chain nose pliers, and then a second pair of pliers, which I prefer to use bent nose pliers. So the first thing I want to show you is how to make a spiral charm. So you just want to get your wire, and you can actually use thicker wire if you want, so maybe even an 18 or 16 gauge wire. I'm just going to make it with this 20 gauge wire, and cut off a few inches. If you want a bigger spiral, you can cut off more. If you want a smaller spiral, less. And then I just did a flush cut on each side there. And so the first thing you do is you're going to make a little loop in the top of the wire. So hold the wire in between your round nose pliers. The wire should come up to the top, kind of be even with the top, but not poke through. And then you just simply wrap the wire around the spiral of the pliers with this thumb and twist your wrist as far as it will go. Then you release, readjust, and then complete the loop. And it will look like a P. Then you get your chain nose pliers and you're going to hold the loop right in the middle of the pliers, and now we're going to make a spiral. So to do that, you just sort of push up with your thumb, readjust the wire in the pliers, and just go around. See, I'm starting to make a spiral here. And you just continue this, and you can really make this as big or small as you want. Just going to keep going around here. And you're just going to leave kind of just a little bit here at the top. So I have a spiral, and then I have a little tail at the end. And then with this is how we're gonna make a loop at the top to attach this to the necklace. So in the same way I just showed you, make another loop. And then there you have your spiral. And if you make the loop and you find that it's kind of up here hanging around, it's not like real close to the spiral, you can just continue spiraling to get it all close. And then ideally, if you have this in your collection of tools, you would want to take a rawhide or a nylon hammer and hammer this so it's strong and holds its shape. It's really this wire is kind of strong enough that it will hold its shape without that. So if you don't have that option, it's really okay. So the cool thing about this necklace is you can add whatever components you want to it. It's almost like a charm bracelet, but it's a charm necklace instead. So I'm going to make a bead dangle with these beads, which I've shown you how to make previously on previous episodes. But I'm going to show you how to make a spiral head pin so that the bead dangle will match our spiral we just made. So you want to cut about 3 inches of wire, and again, this is still the 20 gauge wire, and do a flush cut. And then again, exactly how I just showed you, we're going to make a spiral. So you're going to hold the wire in between in the round nose pliers, twist away, and then you make the loop. And then for head pins, I like to spiral around 2 full times. So it's just like with the charm. And so I'm ending kind of where I started here. In fact, I'm going to go over just a tiny bit further. And then you want the straight part to be straight above the spiral and for it not to look like a D or maybe a P. So just take your chain nose pliers, kind of bend it back so that it is straight. And then you can just use this as any other head pin. It's great to be able to make your own head pins because if you do have bigger beads, you can make them as long as you want so everything fits. Or if the hole of the bead is bigger, then you can make this cool spiral to hold it on. Now I'm just going to go ahead and make this into a dangle. If you need help with that more step by step, I suggest that you refer to previous episodes where I go into detail. Alright, that's good. And that is my finished bead dangle. So now it's just a matter of kind of deciding what you want to add to your necklace. You may want to add a couple spirals, which I think I might you know, whatever you decide. This part is totally up to you, so just sort of make whatever you want. Maybe you want a couple bead dangles, maybe you want extra spirals. Just kind of make a decision on what you would like to make here. And then just measure around your neck how long you would like your necklace to be, how you would like it to fall on you, and then you know, cut it off to size. And when you're doing that, take into consideration the size that your clasp is, because it's going to add to the length a little bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and use 4mm jump rings to add my clasp to the end of my chain. So you just open up a jump ring, and add 1/2 to each side. You might want to use a lobster clasp, in which case you'd add that to one side, and then maybe use some like 7mm jump rings on the other side to attach the lobster clasp to. Oops. And sometimes you might mess up a jump ring, and that's okay. So I'm just adding each side. Or even with a lobster clasp, if your chain is big enough, you can just, you know, use the chain as the other end. Alright, so now we have our chain. So now you just use jump rings and attach all your elements. The only thing you really have to think about is, you know, how it's going to lay. So for this, the way the loop goes, I'm going to have to add an extra jump ring so that it lays properly. And with anything you make, you can always, you know, anything you make with your own wire, you can always manipulate the wire so the loop is going the proper way. But any charm that you maybe buy pre-made from a store, you just kind of have to, you know, deal with. Alright, and I want this to be in the middle, so I just want to find the middle of my chain and then attach it. And then just keep adding your other elements wherever you would like them. And here's my final necklace. So I have this charm that was already made that I got from Happy Mango Beads. I made this bead dangle with a spiral head pin, and then of course my spiral charm. And I just sort of made a little cluster here for this necklace. So now I encourage you to go out and try your own. You can make whatever you want. You can make a bead dangle, a spiral charm. You can use charms that you might have in your collection. Just try to get really expressive and show your personality with this necklace. Have fun. Well, I hope you had a lot of fun learning how to make this week's tutorial, and I hope you really run with what I've shown you and really make your necklace unique and really express yourself. I would love to see pictures, so if you want to, you can post them on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/emergingcreativelytutorials. And remember to head over to KimberlyKoehler.com, which is my website, and you can get a photographic tutorial on how to make this necklace. And if you like, sign up for my newsletter where I send each episode out via PDF so you can easily download it or print it and take it to your workspace. I will see you next week.